All right, let's jump in
Thanks.
on a tool that you guys can use, and we'll role play a little bit, and then we'll leave the tail end for being able to any masterminding on any specific things that you guys want to talk about or specific things that you guys want to role play. But look, we get paid by what we say. Look, that's it. We get paid by what we say. Don't let anybody fool you that you're not going to have to talk to people or have skills to talk to people, because there's everybody and their mother out there on social media these days want to talk to you about everything else besides the skill of being able to connect with people. Now, wherever the lead comes from, open house, YouTube, Instagram, your sphere of influence, expired withdrawals, circle prospecting. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. One thing does not change. You got to be able to get to people to the appointment. Okay. Even if they called you, I know that can be easier when people call you. That can be a lot easier. But your life can be a whole hell of a lot more difficult if you don't have structure and a model to be able to follow so that you can work more efficiently. Sphere of influence, right? Referral. Because if you don't have the right conversation, you could be running around in circles, and we don't get paid till we close the deal. And so I have to have a high level of skill to work more efficiently. Who wants to work more efficiently? Say me. Raise your hand. Say me. Raise your hand. Right? Okay. Who wants to be able to work with people? Who wants to be able to for it to be easier to work with people? Say me. Raise your hand. Say me. Raise your hand. Okay. I want this process to go easier. So your skill level to be able to have better conversations, more authentic conversations, strategic conversations that frame up how to create, how to carry, how to close conversations is what Real Sales Talk is about. That's why we're here. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a tool right now. And that tool is the situation script. Okay. Let me see if I can do this now. Okay, cool. All right. Situation script. Now look, we're going to do this real casually, but then formally on how we can role play this. Now, these questions are questions that you can ask anyone, anywhere, anytime, any place. At the mosque, at the synagogue, at the grocery store, at a barbecue, at the open house. Now, when do you use these questions? Initially, when you meet somebody. If you guys were around me, you'd hear me ask these questions to everybody I meet. I ask the same thing because it's just a good conversation. It's just a conversation. Okay, so let's pick where we're going to role play this in regards to what the format is, like where we would be. Let's play with that a little bit, and then you guys can listen on how to be more conversational, because you could use this as a conversation starter, or you could be talking to somebody at the open house. You could be talking to a YouTube lead, an Instagram lead, and then you want to go a little bit deeper. You want to dig a little bit deeper. And you can use this conversation to go a little bit deeper with somebody. Okay, I'm going to go through this with Javi. Javi, role play with me. I'm going to be the agent.
Okay.
All right. Now we're at
Yes.
an open house, and you were just looking around, and I greeted you. You were looking around at the open house. Now I caught you in the backyard, and we're just having some small talk about the property. You at the open house. You're a buyer. And we're just going to take it from there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Javi, so where do you live right now, by the way?
Man, I live in the Winter Haven area right now.
Okay. So you are in what part of Winter Haven though?
I live by Cypress Gardens.
Oh,
Cypress
okay.
Gardens by Legoland, you know that area?
Yeah. Now, where did you move from though? Were you always from that area?
Nah, man, I actually moved from Puerto Rico, a few years ago.
Oh,
So I
wow.
just that I have some family there.
Holy cow, Puerto Rico. That's obviously a lot different than Winter Haven. Um,
Yeah,
how long have you been in the Winter Haven area?
about 5 years now.
5 years. Wow. Okay, it's kind of a long time. It's starting to get up there. How did you happen to choose Winter Haven from
So I
Puerto
have
Rico?
family. Yeah, we have family that moved to the Winter Haven area. So they were telling us to move with them, move to the area. And we travel a couple of times to Disney and we stay with them. So we like the area. So we eventually pulled the trigger.
Nice. That's awesome. And let me ask you, Javier. I know you're looking around at the open house, but are you looking specifically for this area, or I mean, where would you want to go next?
I mean, if I could be closer to this area, the reason being is I want to be closer to my job in
Ah,
Orlando, and Winter Haven is a little far for me right now with the traffic and the new constructions and everybody moving to Winter Haven. So I want to be closer to my job, man.
gotcha. Yeah, I was going to ask you what would be bringing you there. So what's that do for you being closer to your job?
It will save me so much time in commuting, man.
Yeah. How
It takes me
much?
like an hour just to get there right now. I want
Mm.
to be closer to, half an hour, 35 minutes at the most, man. It's, 2 hours a day, 5 times a week. That kills
Oh,
me.
wow. Yeah, man, that's a lot of time to be able to save. What would you do with that time?
Spend more time with my family. I
Yeah.
have a wife and I have a baby, and my wife needs some help around the house. So, we thought
Okay.
about it, you know, she's a little bit hesitant just because there's a lot of things going on, but
Yeah.
she'll trust me with my intuition if we decide to move closer to Orlando.
Nice, man. I mean, even though it's like, 30 or 45 minutes here or there, it all adds up. And what I hear you saying is that family is important to you and that you're, at some point that's going to mean a better quality of life really is what moving is going to do for you. It's going to improve the quality of your life. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
So let me ask you, what has to happen for you guys to pull the trigger and move?
I mean, we need to find the perfect home. Um, you, you know, perfect home, then the right price, and eventually we'll consider it.
Okay, perfect home. So if you found the perfect home, then in a perfect world, when would you want to move?
I mean, as soon as possible, but
Huh.
we we gotta go through the pre-approval and see what we qualify for. We haven't truly gone that far in the process, but we're
Mm,
just, looking and see what's out
just
there.
looking around. Yeah. Yeah, and look, that's you're right in the zone you should be as far as you're looking around, you're just trying to figure it out. You stopped by my open house and you saw the signs, and I'll tell you how Javier, some clarity that I can help with is like how to get a great deal because I'm sure you've seen like there's a lot of good deals happening right now in Florida, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we noticed that the prices are dropping. We're looking at a
Yeah.
certain neighborhood, man, and that's why my wife and I are thinking about that.
Yeah, yeah. So here's what we can do. I can share with you how to get clarity with like what does a good deal really look like and like what are your options? Like how can you like what's out there for me to be able to get a good deal? Like what does that even look like? And then you could decide if maybe I can help you or not. But for sure, when we after we sit down, Javi, you'll be able to get that information, and then you guys will have clarity on like which direction you're going. I could sit down and talk with you and your wife. Are you guys usually home together after 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock?
So it's usually during the weekends, but let me get with her first, just because I'm a little bit ahead in the process that she is.
Yeah,
Let me get with her, and then we'll talk and see if we can find a time to meet.
for sure, for sure. And I'm looking at the little sign in here from the open house. Is this right? This is your number 737-241-1245.
Yes, that's my number.
Okay, cool. So what I'll do is and today, look, I know it's Saturday afternoon. So why don't I do this? Should I call you tomorrow afternoon or Monday to check back in and then we can go from there.
You can call me tomorrow. You can call me tomorrow. I'll definitely talk to her tonight.
Okay. And you guys are usually home together in the evening or only weekends or how's that work?
It's usually only weekends, just because as I said, I'm driving back and forth during the week to Orlando, and I get home pretty late. So during the weekend, we're both off, and that's why I decided to swing by the open house. He's at the house
Yeah.
cleaning right now. But yeah, usually Saturdays and Sundays are good for us.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And how does she feel about moving? Is she excited about it or not so much?
She is, especially just because our home, she would like something bigger. If we can get something that's bigger for her and then something closer to my job, then we'll both be happy about that. But we haven't found what we're looking for quite yet.
Yeah. Good. Well, it sounds like you guys are on the same page for the next chapter. And I appreciate you being open to me sharing with you and giving you some clarity on the market and like how to get a good deal. You excited to get that information?
Yeah, yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, good. Well, I look forward to giving it to you. So let's do this. I'll call you tomorrow and then we'll figure out a time that we can work this week. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
All right, listen, Scott.
All right, break script.
Good shit.
That's freaking great, man.
Okay, look. Let's use it to set an appointment. Somebody else role play it with me now, and let's come up with some other scenario. Barbecue, whatever, right? Like, yeah, let's do that. We just got introduced at a barbecue. Okay. Now, look, you guys. These are basic questions that you should have literally memorized in your head, because if you meet somebody and you don't know what to talk about and it gets freaking weird, ask these questions. Now, if you watch, and the reason why I have it up here is that you guys should be able to, like, I didn't ask them right in a row, and I asked some additional questions because I was interested in you. And Javi, we talk about in the past, I think we've talked about when you've been here, is like, you need to assign value to the appointment, because if you don't assign value to the appointment, like, what are you worth? Nothing. Okay, so what value did I provide? Clarity, certainty, how to get a good deal. I specifically assigned that to the appointment so you would be interested to go to the appointment. Otherwise, you guys, if you don't assign specific value to the appointment, they're not going to show up. Guys, nobody's talking about this. Everybody's just talking about what to do, but not how to have these conversations, because real estate's about relationships. Real estate's about relationships. Everybody says that. Well, what's the relationship? The conversation. The conversation. Okay, here we go. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom right now. All right, who's role playing with me?
I'll go.
All right. You got to use the script, Harold.
Pauly, where do you live now? Is that the one?
Yep. Right here on the
Okay.
screen. Yep. So we're at a barbecue. Javier introduced us. We're both friends of Javier's, and I'm going to give you something to work with and see if you can set an appointment.
Okay. Do I just start talking? Like I just
Yeah,
met
so
you?
hey, Harold, nice to meet you.
Likewise. So you know Hobby too, huh?
Yeah. Long time. We've been buddies. We're both Puerto Ricans, so I mean, us Boricuas, we gotta stick together.
Yeah, I met Hobby when I was down in Florida a few years ago, and I just happened to be down here again because our office is down here. I just moved down here a couple of years ago, and I just ran
Oh, wow.
into him. Yeah. So hey, how long have you lived here in this area?
Geez, it's been a couple of years now. 2 years.
Are you a transplant from New York or what?
Yeah. I got a job transfer, but yeah, opportunity brought me down this way.
Oh yeah. What do you think about the area?
I like it. No snow, so that's good.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but just quick question. Go ahead, keep going. I didn't.
No, that's it. Just no. I don't have to shovel snow. So
Well, that's gigantic in my book.
yeah.
I did some time in New York as well. And hey, what part of this area are you living now? What part?
Yeah, well, right now I'm in Round Rock, but that we just basically chose that area because it was not too far from work. So yeah.
Just real quick, I thought this was at an open house.
No,
Are we at
that
an
was
open house or barbecue, huh?
Yep, yeah, we're at a barbecue now.
But okay, so I heard you were looking for a property. Should I just do that?
No, go
I
ahead.
overheard the conversation that you were looking for a property in the area. Is that right?
We haven't got there. Follow the script.
Yeah. Well, how did you happen? If you could, okay. Well, so you're looking for a place. What area specifically have you thought about working? I mean, no, sorry about that.
Okay, break script. Look. Where do you live now? Where'd you move from? What part of that area did you move from? Okay, so what part of that area did you move from means like you could take that one of two ways. Oh, you're from New York. Oh, where in New York? Brooklyn. Oh, Brooklyn. Okay. So how long have you lived here?
Yeah. How long have you lived here in the area?
Yeah. So I've been here 2 years.
Wow.
The whole 2 years. Yeah, the whole 2 years I lived here. I've been here in Round Rock.
What caused you to choose this area?
Yeah, it was work.
Okay, yeah.
Close to work. Yep.
Yeah, and I overheard you said you're looking for a place. Where do you think you're going to go next in the area?
Probably stay closer to Round Rock. I mean, I don't want to be too far from work, but we were looking at Georgetown and even Hutto. Looks like it was maybe get a little bit more land out there.
Hey, do you have a time frame right now for looking for getting a place?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm month to month, but I mean, I'm just kind of playing it by ear, just looking around.
Oh, okay. And are you looking at listings on from Zillow or anything, or do you have an agent or?
Yeah, like Zillow and Redfin, just looking online.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have an agent at this point?
No, no.
Okay. Hey, what if I could help it make the process a lot easier for finding a place? Would that be something you'd be interested in hearing about?
What do you mean?
Well, I work as a buyer's agent, and what we do is we set up people looking to buy a place in this particular area. We set them up on a specific search that we can target what exactly they're looking for. Like if you wanted a place where it had to do with location or bedrooms, or you need a pool, things like that, or just you want a really brand new place, things like that, that just new construction. We can set you up on a search and you take your time, you look at it, and when something comes up that you really like to see, we can set up a time to look at the property. Is that something you're interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I do want to see properties for sure.
Hey, why don't we get together sometime, like maybe next week if you got time? Stop by my office and I could show you how we do the process for our buyers. That's something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to talk to my wife first to see her schedule.
Okay. Why not, let me get let's give it let's give our contact information. I can't think of the word. Let's why don't we share numbers? Here's my card. Let me get your number.
Yeah, there you go. Got to get his number. Don't give your card out. They're never going to call you.
Right. Let me get why don't I get your number?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number, Pauly?
123 ABC.
Okay, look, I'm gonna text you my card right now.
Okay.
And then I'll why don't you talk with your wife, see what works for her whenever you guys are free. There's no pressure, nothing like that. And we'll set up a time to meet and I'll show you what we can do to help you guys get the place you're looking for in the time you want.
Good.
Won't
Good.
that be
Great
great?
script. Great script.
Okay. All right.
All right.
You're
Good.
half
Good.
asleep, half asleep. Sorry about that,
No,
man.
no, look, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. All right. How do we go from good to great? What was good about it? Harold, you're so conversational, man, obviously, right? Like people, Mercedes, people don't hear what you say as much as how you feel. And Harold is just a very interested, helpful, curious guy. And that comes across. He comes across helpful, right? Hey, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here because I'm looking for a way to potentially help you. That energy is conveyed. Okay. So great job on that, Harold. Okay. Now, how do we go from good to great? Number one, have value specifically assigned. Hey, I can send you some properties. We can take a look at what you're interested in. Okay, that's what. How is it a benefit to them? You don't have to waste time. I can provide options. Javi, you heard when I was pitching you, I'm like, man, there are some great deals out there. Have you seen that? Yeah, I've seen that. All right, hey, we could talk about how to get you a great deal. Like, what does that look like specifically? It could be timing. It could be options. It could be inside market information, stuff that they don't have that you have, information they don't have that you have. Okay. It could be how to win. We just talked about that. Okay. It could be certainty. That's a big one, guys. The news gets everybody on that all the time. Uncertainty, because we want certainty. So the reason why the news sells you fear is because they know you want certainty. So you'll keep coming back to see what the hell's going on and all the shit that's bad because you want certainty. Your heart wants certainty. Guys, I just gave you a big one. Okay. Certainty. Like how, and sometimes, Javi, I'm just saying that. I'm going like, hey, you'll really know. So you'll have certainty on direction. You'll have certainty, Javi, on timing. Like you'll have certainty, Javi, on like clarity. You'll have certainty, Javi, on like your options. When you can frame up specifically value, I mean, you serve it up on a big fat platter to them. It doesn't matter where the lead comes from because every scenario, even on sphere of it. Now, look, you can get away with a sphere of influence or a lead that calls in with the conversation that Harold just had. You can get away with that sometimes, but guys, sometimes it's a sphere of influence or it's an incoming call lead, and maybe it's a $1 million property, maybe it's a high analytical person. Like whatever, something's happening where they're like, that didn't sound so great. They feel in their heart, or something that's happening in their subconscious. They're like, let me get your card. I'll call you. What's that mean? You didn't sell me. I didn't feel that comfortable with you. Guys, it happens. It happens. Anybody get referred a deal, referred a piece of business, and you didn't get an opportunity to serve that piece of business? Right? Somebody referred you something, but you didn't get to serve them. Why'd that happen? I don't know why that happened, but sometimes it happens because this didn't work well enough. I didn't talk good enough. Okay? So this isn't just about cold leads. This is about people that I know intentionally providing value to the appointment so that I can get them to feel comfortable with going to the appointment. All right, so there's one more thing. We've been doing this a little bit on these role plays is like, oh, I got to talk to my partner. I got to talk to my significant other. I got to talk to my wife. I got to talk to my husband. Okay. So Javi, one way that I get them early is like, okay, when are you guys usually together? And then they tell me, and then that's where I slip in the appointment after 5 o'clock. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's meet. Today's Saturday. Let's meet maybe Monday at 5:30. Does 5:30 or 6 o'clock Monday work for you? Okay, well, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. Oh, well, of course, yeah. And look, I'm booking appointments 2 or 3 days in advance, anyway. So let's do this. I'll pencil you in for Monday 5:30, and then I'll call you tomorrow just to confirm. Does that sound okay? Yeah, that sounds okay. Great, I'll call you tomorrow. But Javi, like I want to get them to commit because two things. People don't follow people who are weak, and I want to show that I'm strong. Respectfully and reasonably. Look, respectfully and reasonably. Respectfully. Hey, well, let's do this. Pencil something in because I'm booking appointments a couple days out in advance anyways. And then I'll call you tomorrow and then you could just confirm it once you get a chance to talk to her. Is that fair? Of course that's fair. Respectfully and reasonably. And I want to show that I'm strong, and that I'm a professional. People don't follow people who are weak. Now, look, you don't have to be salesy, but dab nabbit, man, like you got to be intentional. You got to be intentional with these conversations for you to be able to take them to the next level. Okay. Was this helpful? Say yes, nod your head, go like this, go like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Michael DeMaglio. Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, back in the house. Jason sidetracked, kidnapped me for other purposes.
That's all right. Okay, so this was the situation script. I don't know what page it was on in the playbook. If you need a copy of the playbook, email me therealsalestalk@gmail.com, and I'll send you a copy of the playbook free for now. Page 43. Okay. therealsalestalk@gmail.com for the free copy of the playbook. The situation will help you in any conversation, anywhere, even in the middle of a conversation, talking to somebody. You can patter interrupt them, Javi. You can patter interrupt them where they're pushing back a little bit. And I go, oh, hey, by the way, where do you live? And then I just take a little detour on those questions. And next thing you know, that money question, hey, well, if you could move, where would you want to go next? Gulab, you're door knocking people, like real door knocking, right? You go up to the door.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could hear that, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. And they go, no, I'm not interested in doing anything. And then you go, oh, okay. Well, you're not going to ask them, hey, where do you live? You're standing right in front of their door, right? But you go, how long have you lived here? 10 years. 10 years. Wow, that's a long time. Where'd you move from? New York. Whoa, that's so different than here because somewhere else is always different from where they're at. So I just see it every single time. I go, wow, that's a lot different. Puerto Rico, a lot different than Florida. Not really, kind of. Right.
Yeah. So I have a question. So if I want to exchange contact information, I don't want to give them my business card at the door knocking because it's just they're not gonna call and shit.
Not gonna call you.
Yeah, so how do I exchange numbers? That's the main thing because nobody wants to give number to a stranger. You get me?
No, I don't get you. No, I don't get you. Here's why. Now look, careful guys. Look what I'm gonna do right now. Break it. Break your mindsets, okay? Because nobody wants to give their information to a stranger who's not motivated. True. You're motivated and you had a good conversation. I do want to give you my number. Now, the question is rule number one, get to know the people. Get to know the people, Gulab, because you don't want information from somebody who's not doing anything or is never going to do anything, or you could just throw them into your system. You want to put people in your system who are going to do things. Okay, you have this conversation. You find out they're motivated. Now, what value do you bring to the appointment or to the follow-up? That I was just talking about that. I just gave you what those were. Rewind the tape, go listen to it and write it down. Because if you don't point value to the next step, follow-up, appointment, whatever that value is, they're not going to give you their information. They're not going to set the appointment. So what's the value? Hey, you know what, Gulab? That's a great, I'm glad, I really appreciate you opening up and sharing about considering the downsize. Here's what we should do. Let's sit down and talk, and then I'll share with you the options people are using to sell their property right now to get the most money possible. Because obviously, I mean, you're not going to do anything unless the timing makes sense. False or true? True. Okay, great. What's your phone number? And we'll set a time and then figure out what works best for me to just share that information with you and just talk about it. Because I know that you're just thinking about it right now. You're not doing anything right now. You're just kind of talking about it. Okay, great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, Gulab, you got to have value for the next step, even if it's a follow-up. Hey, we're not doing anything right now. Okay, well, look, why don't we do this? I'll give you a custom value report for your property every month or once a quarter. And then you can figure out, you can keep an eye on what's going on with the market. It's a lot better than Zillow or realtor.com. It's custom. It's something that I can provide for you. And then when you're ready, you can reach out to me and then we'll go from there as far as like a consultation or a conversation. Does that sound fair? Yeah, that sounds fair. Yeah. Okay, great. What's your number? What's your email? You got to provide value for them to be able to give up their information. The situation script is an easy way, casually or professionally, where you're talking to a lead for you to be able to get information to figure out, are they considering to move, buy or sell? This situation script will make you a lot of money, by the way. But it'll only make you money if you use it. Look, it'll only make you money if you use it. Not verbatim, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, just use it. Use the concepts and the ideas and stop and get over yourself about scripts, because the conversation you got right now, the money that you've made right now, some of you guys not much or any, is because you don't speak fluent real estate. The scripts help you speak fluent real estate so that you can be you, because the scripts should not confine you. Right? Look, the scripts should release you. They should release who you are, Gulab, Javier, Rudy, Brian. But the thing is that you're like when you're talking to leads, and then you sound weak, you sound confused, you haven't role played. Sphere of influence, incoming leads. Man, I'm gonna start talking about this stuff more because people think that they don't need the skills. You absolutely need the skills.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where the lead comes from, you need the skills. Okay, with our time left, open mic on questions, comments, things you want to role play, mastermind, coaching. You put it in the box, raise your hand. Like, this is time where you're going to get free, ridiculous value coaching from me or training. Javi.
I've been wanting to role play and pick your brain on my opening for expires.
Okay.
I've focused on buyers, throughout my career. Now I want to start slowly shifting towards expires. And when I call them in, I get beat up. I don't know where to go in the conversation. They don't know where I'm heading into the conversation. So I want to have a strong opening so that I can ease into the conversation and see if I could
You are so
get them to
lucky
be
right
with me.
now. I'm one of the best guys in the country for expired listings.
I know you are.
And my openings, I never get. Sometimes I get a little bit, and then I smooth that shit out real fast. I don't get no flack. No flack. Okay, so you want to role play it, and then I'll tell you how terrible you are, or how do you want me to do it?
I want to
look. I'm only doing that because I know Javi, right? Is that, look, we have to admit that we suck initially, and we want that. We want that, because how do you get better? You got to be told what's not working. And if you're not willing to be told, if your ego is so fragile that you don't want to hear what's wrong, you're going to be out of this business sooner than later. Okay, we need to hear what's wrong so we can figure out to do what's right. And this is a safe place to do it. It doesn't cost you any money, because when you go out there and you try to test it out on people and you suck, it costs you money. Okay, so what are we doing, Javi? You want to role play it?
Yeah, sure. I have the script here.
Yep.
Maybe I could
Which
try
script is it? Whose script is it?
So it's yours, page 58, expire, withdrawn.
Okay, nice. All right, I love it. Let's go. Ring me when you're ready.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Javier. I'm looking online here at a property on 123 Main Street. It was for sale a while back, and then it came
Oh
off the market.
gosh, you know what? You guys are driving me nuts. Like I'm getting so many calls.
Oh man, I completely hear you. It sounds like you're the owner, am I right?
I am the owner. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit. When you were on the market, well, is it still available, first of all?
No, I came off the market. Like I don't know if I really want to sell it anymore. I mean, we were on the market 3 months. The property didn't sell. I mean, where were you when my property was for sale?
Ah, that's a great question. Actually, your agent should have reached out to me because I actually worked in the area with tons of buyers. But when you were on the market, did you get any feedback as to why it didn't sell?
Well, my agent just kept telling me to lower the price. I mean, we were on the market 3 months, and he just kept beating me up on price, week after week.
Okay, so it was a little bit about pricing. And when you were reducing the price, did you get any offers at all?
We did get an offer early, and then I didn't get any offers after that.
Oh, okay. So just one offer. And what happened with that offer? Why didn't you move forward with that offer? You don't mind me asking.
Well, it was too low initially.
Oh, it was too low. So it was about the pricing and the numbers. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you think stopped it from selling?
Well, I think it was the market shifted a little bit in April. So, do you have a buyer?
I mean, I work with tons of buyers in the area, investors. I'm actually a buyer's agent. That's why I was calling you. But so you think it was the market that stopped it from selling? And okay, I completely hear you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
listen, Paulie, this is a great area. Where would you go next when you do sell this property?
Yeah, I mean, I love this neighborhood. We've been here forever, but it's a 4,000 square foot house, and it's just me and my wife now, so we don't need this much space. But I don't have to sell it, so I want to sell it, but I just haven't been able to get my price.
Oh, okay. I completely understand you. So you don't need to sell. You're not in a rush. But if you got the right number, you would consider it. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Okay.
So I mean, if you got a buyer, I mean, by all means, you can bring them. Let me know.
Absolutely. That's absolutely the goal. And you said, this is too much space for you and your wife. How does she feel about this move?
Well, she wants to move more than I do. I mean, she's the one, she's doing a lot of the cleaning, and as I'm still working, I'm retired, but I'm working as a consultant. But it's just too much upkeep for us.
Oh, okay. So she wants to move even more than you do. So
Yeah.
what will make you feel comfortable enough for you to make this move besides the price?
Just a decent offer. I just wanted a decent offer. But honestly, I don't know that it's going to really sell in this market at this price. So, we're just thinking about maybe waiting until, maybe a few more months, maybe the beginning of next year. I don't know. We're trying to figure it out.
I completely understand how you feel, feeling like the market is not in your favor, so and you're not getting the number that you want can be a little
Yeah.
frustrating. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, exactly.
But you said you wanted to downsize because the space is too much for you. And
Yep.
downsizing ultimately, what would that do for you?
Well, it's the like I said, it's just the upkeep of the property and not having to deal with it, but at some point, and it's two-story too. So like we just, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's just that I'm not under a big time crunch. I really would like to sell it, but it's just not, I don't know that it's really possible.
Oh, okay. Listen, Paulie, it sounds like you need to make this move so that you can stop, taking care of this property that is too much for you and your wife. Am I right?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Based on what you're telling me, I think our next natural step will be to sit down and talk. I'll share some inside market information on how to get this highest price possible, even in this market, so that you know how to win. And, before you know it, you'll be, in a property that is accommodating to you and your wife so that you don't have to do a lot of upkeeps. Sounds good?
But I just, I don't know that the property is going to sell for a price, the price that I wanted here that I was asking. That's the thing. I mean, it was on the market 90 days.
No, I completely understand you. And when you say you wanted a price specifically, what price would you say you do not want to go below?
I mean, we were asking 450, maybe, 425 is probably the bottom.
Okay, so 425 being the bottom. And what would that do for you if you got the 425?
Well, we really want to move to Sun City neighborhood. That's where we were looking at, is to move to one of the Sun City neighborhoods for the retired communities.
Got it. So that's the reason this number is important, because this would allow you to get closer to that neighborhood and you could put this one behind. Is that what I'm
Yeah,
hearing?
I mean, we're going to downsize a bit, so we're not going to use all the money, but I want to try to get as much as I can.
Of course. Yeah, if I was in your shoes, I'll feel the exact same way, getting the most out of your property. Am I right?
Yeah.
Let's do this, man. I know you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense to you, right? So let's just sit down, 10, 20 minutes tops. I'll share some options, and that way you have clarity on how to win in a market like this, and see if we can get you that top dollar for your property. I'll share some strategies on how to sell the property in this market, and then you can decide what to do from there. Fair enough?
Okay, break script.
Oh man, I feel like I suck.
No, that wasn't give thumbs up if you thought he did a good job. You need to see some of your faces. Good job. I don't I was real rough on you in the front, which, by the way, if you can handle the heat on the front, then often look, it's like a tea kettle. They can't keep going. So if you can repeat and approve, which you approved really well, you moved really well. What do I mean by moved really well? You asked questions, and then you let them talk, and then you approved, and then you just kept moving. Okay, you're Puerto Rican, so you got the beat, right? So you got the flow, and you got the flow. You keep dancing, even though they're not dancing. Eventually, they'll start dancing. If you got good flow, what do I mean? Your energy, the quality of your questions, how really curious you are about what's going on. People don't hear what you say; they hear how you feel. How do you feel? Like I was saying about Harold, like. When you really want to know, like you're really interested and you're curious and you're asking good questions, they feel that. And so your flow is really, really good, Javier. Okay, so I love how because I was tough on you, and then you verified ownership on the front, and that was kind of like a pattern interrupt. Like, yeah, but do you own this? I'm like, yeah, your agents, you're all calling me, and you're like, yeah, but do you own the property? And then I had to say yes, right? And that was like a pattern interrupt. Like it took me off track for a second, which is what you want from me. It's not what I want. I want to keep complaining and bitching about realtors, right? You moved on quick after I mentioned where was he when I said where were you when I sold my home? And then you moved quick. You let me answer, and then you just kept moving. You kept the conversation going versus getting caught up in the mud of whatever it is they want to complain about. Like, don't get caught up in the mud. Keep moving. Keep moving the conversation. Careful. You said I'm a buyer's agent. You don't want to say that when you're going for a listing. But I work with a lot of buyers. That's good. Okay. Maybe, I've been a buyer's agent in the past, so I know what it takes to attract them. Maybe something like that. But you don't want to say you are a buyer's agent. It's kind of somebody who's intelligent or very crafty might be like, well, you're a buyer's agent. I don't want a buyer's agent. I want a listing agent. I mean, all the inches count, right? It might not have killed you, but it could have hurt you. Okay. But I work with a lot of buyers. You said something like that, and then you said I'm a buyer's agent. Like, I work with a lot of buyers. That's what. Do you have a buyer? Here's my response. Do you have a buyer? Well, that's exactly why I'm calling. I'm calling to figure out how I can bring you a buyer. No, I didn't say I had a buyer, but I didn't say I don't have a buyer. And I said that's why I'm calling you, is to figure out if I can bring you a buyer. And it works every single time. Do you have a buyer? Well, that's why I'm calling you, is to figure out how I can bring you a buyer. Move, keep going, keep the conversation going. Good approvals, good moves, sit, talk, share. You kind of use that towards the end, Hey, let's sit down. We can talk a little bit. I think that's some of the stuff that you've been paying attention to. Sit, talk, share. You should be using that language when you close. Hey, let's just sit down. I'll share with you a little bit more about, and then you better plug in value. Perfect close in the playbook. Perfect close. Value, strike commitment, assumptive close. What's the value? Well, we talk about how to get a great deal. Now, this is the one part I think you can step up a lot, which is you better smother that value. Now, careful, because when you're talking about expireds, you can't say stuff like, well, hey, if I could get your price, dude, they didn't get their price. You can't talk about that anymore. Good job redirecting on like, well, why are you doing this? What's important about it? So what's it now go a little bit deeper. So what's important about going from 2-story to 1-story? You probably already know, but don't assume shit. Make them say it. So what's important about going from 2-story to 1-story? So what about right now? I mean, what's important about right now? I mean, the market's a little wonky right now. Well, blah, 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 blah. They're giving you ammunition for you to use later because you can't, Javi, you got to close them with emotion, not logic. You cannot close people with logic. Hey, well, here's what we'll do. We'll sit down and we'll talk a little bit about how to get a great deal and like what's going on with the market. They don't think that's possible because they already didn't get a great deal in their mind. Okay, so here's how I close them differently. All right, ready? Hey, Javi.
Please.
So I'm gonna reverse it, and I'm Javi, and you're Pauly, right? So look, Pauly, I hear you. You know, it sounds like what you're trying to do is, even though with what's going on with the market, you didn't get what you originally wanted. This is a lifestyle change. Is that what's going on? You're changing your lifestyle, 2-story to 1-story. You're going from a basic community to a Sun City community. What I hear you saying is that you want to change your lifestyle. Is that how you feel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. And if you could get an offer that made sense for the market, I mean, something that made sense financially now versus having to wait next year. I mean, if it was a fair offer, it was something somebody came to the table and allowed you to go ahead and move into Sun City and enjoy all the amenities there and not have to worry about your wife cleaning all that property. And like, you just moved on with your life. Would you rather have that now than having to wait next year?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Now look, sometimes they'll kick back and they go, yeah, but I couldn't get my price. Well, no. I know you didn't get your price. And here's what we can do. Let's sit down and take a look at the numbers because obviously you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense. False or true?
False. I mean, true.
True. Okay, so here's what we'll do. Look, Javi, I'll shoot you straight on what it will take to get the property sold, how you can be celebrating the holidays in Sun City this year versus having to wait next year. And then look, you're going to decide what makes sense for you or not because this has to make sense. I mean, you really this has to make sense for you to do anything. All right, I can come over Tuesday at 4 or Wednesday at 6. Break script. Okay, you see how I used emotion on like Sun City, celebrating Christmas, holidays, downsizing and how it feels to have to worry about cleaning look, emotion, bro, emotion. But you can't use emotion until you know more about them. How do you know more about them? What's that do for you? What's important about that? What happens if that didn't happen? Tell me more how you feel about that. What does that do for you? What's important about that are 2 questions that you can cycle to dig on people on what's going on with motivation. Now you really know them versus their home came off the market. They're pissed off. So what? What else do you know about them to help them? Because look, if that guy's not motivated and you're going to pre-qualify him later to find out how really motivated or unmotivated he is, because remember the fact that when you got somebody who's resisting you, especially with expired withdrawals, they're going to resist you at a higher level because you're a stranger and because they're pissed off. So how do you have a better conversation to figure out what's really going on here? And then I really, there's an opportunity set to an appointment. Or what's really going on here? No. Follow up in 3 months. And then I'm going to shoot for this listing in 6 months or in 9 months or nurture them for a listing next year. I do that all the time. I nurture people for listings all the time, but I'll tell you what I don't do. I don't do it unless I know what's going on and I know that they'd consider my service. They consider to interview me down the road. I don't follow up on anybody unless I got those 2 things. Takeaway, Javi, takeaway. What'd you learn today? What's your big takeaway?
That, they're going to resist me at a higher level, so I have to smother the value proposition in the appointment setting, and not use the line out. I'm a buyer's agent, because they need a listing agent. They need a professional to sell this property. Using the motivation in the close. Hey, before you know it, you can move up into your life. That's actually pretty nice, because it reminds them why they're doing this.
Yeah, let me capitalize on that. Real important. I really want to drill this into you. When you're able to have a good enough conversation with them, Mercedes, and you can really, really dig in on, like, who are they? What's going on here? Now you're talking Pauly to Javi. Now you're talking Pauly to Mercedes, not agent to prospect. Now you're having a real human conversation, and you're gonna and Javi, you got to dig into that and lean into that, and not talk about the what. Talk about the what it makes them feel, how it affects them. What's the what's the benefit for them? Like, really get into the feelsy, because that's what's going to make them go. I had this conversation just a few minutes ago before this call with somebody who said, no, I don't want to sell. The market's too low. I've been tracking her for 6-9 months. She got back to me, hey, maybe I can sell now. 3 months ago, I was like, no, you're not going to get what you want. She called me back 3 months. I was going to follow up with her in 6 months because she said it was going to be a year. And I go, she called, and I tell her what's going on. And I go, and we had this exact conversation on, do you really want to wait, or would you rather just start this new chapter? I mean, you want to be with your grandkids in Florida. This is real life, right? I go, you want to be with your grandkids, right? Yeah. Oh, would you rather be with your grandkids now, or do you want to hold on to this property and, like, watch the market get worse? Because if your property right now, I'm telling you 325, in the next 6 months, I think it's going to be like 275, 300. And then you try to sell next summer, you'd be lucky if you're 325, maybe 300. I don't know, but the market's going down right now. Okay, now look, markets are local. Austin, values are going down. Third and fourth quarter, guys, is not going to be good. Okay, not. Interest rates, don't count on it. Even if the interest rates go a little bit down in September, October, November, that, like, the third and fourth quarter, values will have gone down in most markets in that time frame. So what did you win? Nothing. You lost money. This is what I'm telling everybody. Get out now. Now. I got like $100,000 in price reductions in the last 48 hours because I'm telling people, look, let's take it off the market, or you better sell right now. Like, you got to get out. This market's going down. Okay, takeaway, Mercedes.
Takeaway, one, study my script. It's not a script, it's conversation. It's just conversation. Like, that's it, that's all. And then 2, I need to lock in on my value because I know they're not going to give me information without it.
Yes, love it, love it. DeMaglio,
Sir,
what's your takeaway?
Paisan. You know what? I like the last thing you were saying, that you don't follow up, you don't nurture with them unless they've agreed to have a conversation and possibly sell down the road. I think that goes along with what you've said in the past, where we're not in the convincing game. We're not in the persuading game. We're in the sorting game. Like, you can't pry these people. You're not going to convince someone to buy or sell a house unless they're going to buy or sell a house.
Yep.
So sort through the ones that are tire kicking and get to the ones that are actually, going to make a deal.
And with an expired, I don't know, Javi, because they're so resistant. So my skill level, it's not them, it's me. I'm the problem. When they're being cranky, it's because they've talked to a lot of clowns and their real estate agent didn't do a good job. Usually, not always. Some agents do a good job and it just expires. That happens, right? But look, there's more bad agents than good agents. We know that. So what's going on? Usually a lot of bad service. So what's going on? I got to figure it out. And I have to have the skill set to be able to open them up to just talk to me like a human being versus sitting here bitching and moaning. Oh, expireds and withdrawals are so mean. For sale by owners are greedy. Stop complaining and step up your freaking game because the money's on the table and guess who's picking it up? Me. Are you? Call's over. Listen, the opportunity, it doesn't have to be expired to withdrawals, Mercedes, right? Like, there are people out there that are going to resist you because they're scared. They're scared of the market. They're apprehensive. They're afraid of, you're a salesperson, you're a stranger, you're at the open house. They went to 3 other open houses and all those agents had commission breath because they couldn't create good conversations. These are the types of markets where winners are born and the great go to legend. Okay, these are the markets where it's your opportunity to differentiate yourself with the quality of your conversation. Go pro. These are conversations, not scripts, Mercedes. There's an opportunity for you to step up your talk game. Okay, appreciate you guys. Have a great week.